Welcome to this live chat facility tutorial. We have had a lot of questions recently about the chat facility and how to use it, so let's get into the video. The chat facility is built with students in mind, with a tool that doesn't need to be parent or teacher led. Each of our pages are linked to the person behind the broadcast, even after it's finished, so you can always ask your questions and get a response about the broadcast. So, let's have a look at how to use the chat facility. To use the chat facility, the first thing to do is to type your comment or question into the chat box. You can now enter your screen name. Your screen name will show when you type your question or comment. Now you will see the chat facility ask for your email address. As I mentioned before, each of our pages are linked to people from the organisation who can reply to your questions. You can enter your email address, which will not be shared with anyone, to get a direct response from the people behind the broadcast. If you do not want a direct response, then click the button at the bottom. People behind the broadcast can still respond to you if you don't provide your email address. This just means you may have to come back to the page to check the response. To type your question, simply click on the chat box. You will then see two symbols appear. The @ symbol will mean your comment or question will be posted publicly for others to see. The email symbol means your comment or question can be sent directly to the person of your choice from the list that will appear. You can now speak to the people behind the broadcast and ask any questions you may have, or check out our partner pages to see the companies we work with who you can speak to right now about their current vacancies. You can also check out our careers page, which connects you to employers. Our live chat service is linked 24/7 to employers from a wide range of sectors, all waiting to hear from you. You can leave a question about how to produce a professional CV or how to prepare for interviews, anything work related, and one of our businesses will respond to you directly. You can also access a wide variety of live interactive broadcasts and video on demand with the live chat support on all pages. Now, this bit is for the parents, guardians, and teachers. The best bit about the live chat facility is that it is completely moderated, so you don't need to worry if your young person leaves a silly comment, as it will only show on their screen and no one else's. Another great thing about the chat facility is that it is GDPR protected, so no information is shared with anyone else. We will protect all email addresses and will never share personal information of the young people. If you have any questions about the chat facility or the Learn Live channel, please use the email us icon at the top of the page. Thank you, stay safe and stay tuned. Welcome to this live chat facility tutorial. We have had a lot of questions recently about the chat facility and how to use it, so let's get into the video. The chat facility is built with students in mind, with a tool that doesn't need to be parent or teacher led. Each of our pages are linked to the person behind the broadcast, even after it's finished, so you can always ask your questions and get a response about the broadcast. So, let's have a look at how to use the chat facility. To use the chat facility, the first thing to do is to type your comment or question into the chat box. You can now enter your screen name. Your screen name will show when you type your question or comment. Now you will see the chat facility ask for your email address. As I mentioned before, each of our pages are linked to people from the organisation who can reply to your questions. You can enter your email address, which will not be shared with anyone, to get a direct response from the people behind the broadcast. If you do not want a direct response, then click the button at the bottom. People behind the broadcast can still respond to you if you don't provide your email address. This just means you may have to come back to the page to check the response. To type your question, simply click on the chat box. You will then see two symbols appear. The @ symbol will mean your comment or question will be posted publicly for others to see. The email symbol means your comment or question can be sent directly to the person of your choice from the list that will appear. You can now speak to the people behind the broadcast and ask any questions you may have, or check out our partner pages to see the companies we work with who you can speak to right now about their current vacancies. You can also check out our careers page, which connects you to employers. Our live chat service is linked 24/7 to employers from a wide range of sectors, all waiting to hear from you. You can leave a question about how to produce a professional CV or how to prepare for interviews, anything work related, and one of our businesses will respond to you directly. You can also access a wide variety of live interactive broadcasts and video on demand with the live chat support on all pages. Now, this bit is for the parents, guardians, and teachers. The best bit about the live chat facility is that it is completely moderated, so you don't need to worry if your young person leaves a silly comment, as it will only show on their screen and no one else's. Another great thing about the chat facility is that it is GDPR protected, so no information is shared with anyone else. We will protect all email addresses and will never share personal information of the young people. If you have any questions about the chat facility or the Learn Live channel, please use the email us icon at the top of the page. Thank you, stay safe and stay tuned. Welcome to this live chat facility tutorial. We have had a lot of questions recently about the chat facility and how to use it, so let's get into the video. The chat facility is built with students in mind, with a tool that doesn't need to be parent or teacher led. Each of our pages are linked to the person behind the broadcast, even after it's finished, so you can always ask your questions and get a response about the broadcast. So, let's have a look at how to use the chat facility. To use the chat facility, the first thing to do is to type your comment or question into the chat box. You can now enter your screen name. Your screen name will show when you type your question or comment. Now you will see the chat facility ask for your email address. As I mentioned before, each of our pages are linked to people from the organisation who can reply to your questions. You can enter your email address, which will not be shared with anyone, to get a direct response from the people behind the broadcast. If you do not want a direct response, then click the button at the bottom. People behind the broadcast can still respond to you if you don't provide your email address. This just means you may have to come back to the page to check the response. To type your question, simply click on the chat box. You will then see two symbols appear. The @ symbol will mean your comment or question will be posted publicly for others to see. The email symbol means your comment or question can be sent directly to the person of your choice from the list that will appear. You can now speak to the people behind the broadcast and ask any questions you may have, or check out our partner pages to see the companies we work with who you can speak to right now about their current vacancies. You can also check out our careers page, which connects you to employers. Our live chat service is linked 24/7 to employers from a wide range of sectors, all waiting to hear from you. You can leave a question about how to produce a professional CV or how to prepare for interviews, anything work related, and one of our businesses will respond to you directly. You can also access a wide variety of live interactive broadcasts and video on demand with the live chat support on all pages. Now, this bit is for the parents, guardians, and teachers. The best bit about the live chat facility is that it is completely moderated, so you don't need to worry if your young person leaves a silly comment, as it will only show on their screen and no one else's. Another great thing about the chat facility is that it is GDPR protected, so no information is shared with anyone else. We will protect all email addresses and will never share personal information of the young people. If you have any questions about the chat facility or the Learn Live channel, please use the email us icon at the top of the page. Thank you, stay safe and stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to the Learn Live channel and to today's Winsford Wellbeing 2021 broadcast in partnership with Higher Horizons. This Winsford Wellbeing broadcast is a 5-week-long programme all about looking after your mental health and wellbeing to kickstart your new year. The Higher Horizons team want to provide you with the tools and techniques to help you to combat anxiety, stress and low mood, and to encourage your motivation and drive for the rest of the academic year. Every Monday, there are sessions available from world champion skater Jenna Downing, as well as sessions from Higher Horizons Plus and the University of Chester staff. In this broadcast, we'll be hearing from Jenna Downing and Chloe from Higher Horizons. Chloe will be covering Anxiety Explained, as she helps us understand how anxiety comes in different forms and shapes, and Jenna will be telling us all about mindfulness and how relaxation can reduce anxiety. If you have a question for Jenna and Chloe, please leave them in the live chat, which is situated next to the video player. Once you leave your questions, one of the team will get back to you as soon as possible. And if you want to find out more about events such as this, please click on the subscribe button just above and you can get the up-to-date information that you need. I'm now going to hand over to the Higher Horizons team as they introduce the rest of the Winsford Wellbeing 2021 broadcast. Over to you.
Hi everyone, welcome back to this Wellbeing programme. This is our third session, and today I'll be explaining how anxiety physically and mentally affects you. Jenna will follow up with some fantastic tips on mindfulness and relaxation to combat things like anxiety and stress. Talk to us in the chat box on the left today, and one lucky winner of each session will receive an Amazon voucher for engaging with us. If you're in years 9, 10 and 11 and you haven't yet filled out a pre-evaluation form, please scroll right down to the bottom of the page and click on the pre-evaluation form link. It really helps us to work more with you. Hello and welcome to this presentation on stress and anxiety. My name's Chloe, I work for Higher Horizons Plus, which is part of the UniConnect project. In this presentation, we're going to talk about the difference between stress and anxiety, what anxiety is and why it happens, and what the physical, emotional, cognitive and behavioural effects are. Stress and anxiety are very similar, and it can be confusing to tell the difference. They present the same kind of reactions both physically and mentally. The key differences are that stress is a response to having an external cause. So, for instance, if you have an argument with a friend, or if you're revising for exams. Stress often goes away when the thing that made you feel stressed is no longer there. So, if you and your friend have made up, that stress is gone. If you've revised for your exams and the exam has happened, that stress is gone as well. Anxiety is a response to stress. It's internal. Anxiety doesn't leave you after something is resolved. So you might be lying awake and worrying about the argument you had with your friend, even though you've made up. You might be feeling nervous and panicked about the exam that you've just taken, even after you've taken it. The response can happen again in similar situations. So you might then feel nervous at every exam you have after that, or you might even be nervous at something like a job interview because it's similar to an exam. So anxiety is a persistent feeling of unease or threat. It can be good or it can be unhelpful. We're going to cover that in the next slide. But most importantly, anxiety is normal. Everybody gets anxious, it is only human. We all have anxiety. It can be good. It gets your adrenaline going and it can make you productive and motivate you. For example, if you're anxious about an exam, a bit of anxiety can motivate you to revise. And this is what we call good anxiety. Too much anxiety, though, can do the opposite. It can make you sluggish and lethargic. It can make you not want to do anything, and it can completely overwhelm you. It can even keep you up at night. And this is unhelpful anxiety. This is what we're going to go through now. So let's look at the physical effects of anxiety. You might have heard of fight or flight. Our ancestors would have many dangers to worry about. That could be from rival tribes, the weather, and even big scary animals like this saber-toothed cat. So our bodies developed an alarm system to warn us of potential danger, and it's so effective that even when we're in a relaxed state or even when we're asleep, our bodies can instantly react to danger and get ready to either fight the danger or to run away from it. And this is called fight or flight response. As we evolved, the majority of us in our society don't come across life-threatening situations on a daily basis. I don't know about you, but I've never met a saber-toothed cat. However, the fight or flight response hasn't changed. Our bodies still react the same way to any threat. Our bodies now can't tell the difference between something that's actually threatening and something that we just perceive to be threatening. This means that our bodies react the same way to being chased by a bear or something else that we might be scared of, like a maths exam. What's even weirder is that our bodies can't tell the difference between a threat that's right in front of us and a threat that we imagine. So we don't just activate the fight or flight response when we see a scary animal like this saber-toothed cat, it happens when we think about it. This is also a bit like how phobias work. For example, if you're afraid of flying, you only need to sit in a stationary aeroplane to feel scared or anxious, because you're thinking about the act of the plane flying. So what happens to our physical body when this happens? The first thing to note is that adrenaline is released, triggering lots of reactions around your body. Firstly, your brain is hijacked. The emotional brain takes over from your thinking, logical brain. This means that while you're alert to danger, you won't be able to concentrate on anything that requires thinking or logic. You need to be alert to danger, you need to be able to see it, so your eyes widen to let more light in, which is great for scanning the fields around you for predators, but not so great when you're trying to look down at a maths paper in front of you. It might also make you feel like your vision is blurry. The blood rushes around your body, which makes your heart beat faster and stronger. This is to make sure that the blood can reach your big muscles in your limbs, and that's because you might need your arms and legs for either fighting or fleeing the danger. When the blood reaches your muscles, they tense up, ready for action. The blood rushing to your muscles can make you feel lightheaded and a bit wobbly. The little blood vessels around the body get smaller in order to pump blood to the bigger blood vessels. This can make you feel quite tingly, and it can also leave you with a dry mouth. Because your body is working so hard, it heats up really fast, making you hot and flushed, and your body tries to cool itself down by sweating. In order to run away or fight, you need to make sure that there's enough oxygen in your body, so your breathing becomes fast and shallow. As the body needs all fight or flight symptoms to be on red alert, it shuts down non-essential symptoms. This is mainly your digestive system. That feeling of butterflies in your stomach, or your stomach churning, or maybe you might feel nauseous, is actually all your muscles suddenly relaxing because they're not needed to be used. Because they relax so much, you also might have a sudden urge to go to the toilet. So we can see that there are loads of different reactions that are happening in the body, and this all happens so suddenly you won't even realise it's happening. So this all happens really quickly, and it actually stops happening just as quickly as it started. But what happens if this reaction doesn't stop? That's called a panic attack. Panic attacks are an exaggeration of the physical effects of anxiety. They come on really quickly, and they can last from 5 to 30 minutes. They are really intense, and they can be quite scary, sometimes both for the person experiencing it and for the people witnessing it. Many people who experience them can feel completely out of control of their body. And depending on how strong it is or how long it lasts, it can make you feel quite exhausted afterwards. Let's take a look at the emotional effects of anxiety now. So one of the main emotions of anxiety is an ongoing feeling of sadness. Some people might feel like crying and they're not really sure why. You can also feel very worried, and worry is a very normal emotion. But with anxiety, many people find that they worry about little things that never would have bothered them before. These ongoing emotions of sadness and worry can lead to feelings of anger and frustration. And many people that find as a result of that they become more irritable. There are many cognitive effects of anxiety. This means that anxiety affects the way you think. Some of these things are called unhelpful thoughts. We all have unhelpful thoughts. These are thoughts that are quite negative, and they don't necessarily stem from anything that's actually factual. So when you're anxious or stressed, your mind is hijacked, and we have a lot of these unhelpful thoughts, and they can build up until we feel really bad about ourselves or about situations. So the first thing to do is it's really important to recognize different types of negative thoughts, and when you recognize them, it helps to overcome them. So let's look at a little scenario. Let's say you've had a really bad day at school, and you come home and you text your friend, "I only got 6 out of 20 on the algebra test. I'm so stupid." This is called labelling, using I am followed by a negative. In this case, I am stupid. We all do this, and from time to time, that's okay. But it's when we talk about it all the time, the more we label ourselves, the more we actually think it's true. So then you say, if I failed this, I'm going to fail the exam. This is called overgeneralizing. You think if it happens once, it's going to happen again in a very similar situation. However, your friend then points out, but you got 16 out of 20 on the shape and space one. So you fire back, yeah, but that doesn't count. Everyone knows that's easy. This is called disqualifying the positive. So you're downplaying a positive as a fluke or that it doesn't count. You don't see the whole picture. You don't see that you did really well on one test. You only see the negative one. You only see the one where you got 6 out of 20. So you end with, it's fine, I just can't do maths. This is called black and white thinking. Things are either one extreme or they're the other. The thing is though, that getting that 6 out of 10 doesn't mean you're going to fail your exam. It's only one part of your exam. What it means is that you're really good at shape and space, so when you come to revise, you need to look more about your algebra. So let's look at another scenario now. So let's say that your friend texts you. Hiya, had a great time yesterday, thanks. Not coming today though, sorry. Ordinarily, that would actually be a perfectly fine text to receive. It's nice that she had a great time yesterday. She's sent a smiley face, so she's probably okay. And she's also said sorry for not meeting me today. But if you're anxious or you're stressed, your mind goes to different places, usually a negative one. So you might think, why doesn't she want to spend time with me today? This is called a mental filter, picking out only the negative part of the situation. So you ask her, okay, how come? And she replies with, I'm just feeling a bit down. Normally, you might think, I'm sad that she's feeling down. I wonder what's making her feel down. But when you're anxious or stressed, you might automatically think, what have I done to upset her? This is called personalization, assuming what happened was your fault. So you try and reach out to her and say, want to meet up and talk about it? And she replies with, no, I'm fine. So obviously she doesn't want to meet up and talk about it, so you immediately think, she's fallen out with me. This is called mind reading. It's jumping to conclusions with no factual evidence. And in fact, if you looked back on the conversation, the first thing she said was, hiya, smiley face, had a great time yesterday, thanks. That probably means that in the space of 3 messages, she hasn't fallen out with you. Ordinarily, all of these thoughts, we all have them once in a while. But when you're stressed or you're anxious, you can have unhelpful thoughts over and over and over again. And the more you have them, the more you start feeling bad about them. If you can recognise what unhelpful thoughts you have, you can actually look at the situation in a different way. There are also behavioural effects to anxiety, and that means the way you act. During a period of anxiety, you might find that you act differently to how you normally would. So what happens to your actions and your behaviour? Well, one of the most common behavioural reactions to anxiety is avoidance. You start avoiding things that you think you might find stressful. Another one is a lack of self-care. This can mean not doing things that you normally would do to make you happy and healthy. That can be anything. It can be something like eating bad things, overeating, undereating. It might be not washing yourself as often as you normally would. And it might be that you don't do activities that previously made you happy. Another one that links in with both of these is apathy. You might find that you can't be bothered to do things that you would normally do. You might not want to go out with your friends, you might not take care of yourself, you might do things like not tidy your room if that's something that you normally do. And this is called apathy. It's a lack of interest, a lack of enthusiasm, or a lack of concern. Sometimes when people feel emotional effects of anger and frustration with anxiety, they might also lash out. This means showing aggressive behaviour towards people or objects. So in this presentation, we've learnt about the difference between stress and anxiety. We've learnt what anxiety is and why it happens. And we've learnt the physical, emotional, cognitive and behavioural effects. Knowing about anxiety, why it happens, and exactly what happens is the first step to overcoming it, or to help you recognise if someone else is suffering with it. The next step is to learn about techniques to combat anxiety. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a healthy, happy day.
It's Jenna here and welcome to this virtual wellbeing series. Today's session is based on the practice of mindfulness and meditation to help reduce anxiety. Now I'm sure we've all experienced times in life where we felt anxious, whether it be an upset stomach, butterflies in the stomach, sweaty palms, heart palpitations or tension headache. Anxiety can affect us in so many different ways. Yet these are all natural occurrences of adrenaline pumping throughout the body that makes us feel this way. Anxiety can be mentally exhausting and can have a real impact on the body. Just take a moment to think about something that has made you feel anxious recently. It might be something to do with the past, the present or the future. For me, I know that when I take on too many commitments in life, I can start to feel really anxious. I've just got too much going on and it can really stress me out. What's made you feel anxious recently? Write it down in your workbook or maybe even share it with the person next to you. I want you to know that feeling like that is absolutely okay. We all feel like that from time to time. However, if anxiety is affecting your day-to-day life and is causing you distress, then please see your GP. What's great is that there are lots of things out there that we can do to improve our anxiety. One of these is mindfulness and another is meditation. Mindfulness is the practice of being able to focus your attention on the present moment. It's about turning down the volume in your brain, all those thoughts you may have running around, and bringing your attention back to the body. It's been scientifically proven to help reduce stress and improve overall levels of happiness. And not only that, just like a muscle, it can be improved with practice. If we take this glitter ball for example, this glitter ball is like our mind, and each bit of glitter represents a different thought swirling around in our mind. Now when we wake up in the morning, our mind is pretty settled. But soon after, things start swirling around. Maybe your brother or sister has ate the last bit of cereal for breakfast. Maybe your parents or carers are shouting at you to get ready for school. Maybe you hear some worrying news on the TV that makes you feel anxious. You just have too much homework to do. All these thoughts and all these feelings are swirling around, and before you know it, we can't see clearly. So what is the one thing that we can do to help the glitter to settle and allow us to see clearly again? Being still. Practicing mindfulness will help us see clearly again. You can't rush being still. You can't push all the glitter back to the bottom. You simply have to wait. But once all the glitter is settled, our thoughts and feelings no longer clouding our vision, we'll be able to see clearly again. So how can you practice mindfulness? I'm going to take you through my top tips to help you add little bursts of mindfulness to your day to help reduce anxiety and calm your mind. Number 1, practice deep breathing techniques. Deep breathing can reduce your stress levels, lower your blood pressure and help to regulate other important bodily functions. This first exercise I'm going to take you through is quick and effective, easy to remember and can be used anywhere at any time you start to feel anxious or overwhelmed. This is called Take 5 breathing, and the idea is that you use your 5 fingers to count each breath and cycle. The exercise anchors our awareness back to the present moment, helping us to feel calm and relaxed.
Stretch your left hand out like a star. Get your pointer finger ready on your right hand to trace your fingers up and down. Slide up each finger slowly, pause at the top and slide slowly down the other side. Whilst doing this, breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Pull it together and follow your movement with your breath. Breathe in as you slide up, pause, and breathe out through your mouth as you slide down. Once you have traced your hand, do it backwards and continue until you start to feel calm.
How does everybody feel now? Hopefully calmer. If not, feel free to take another 5. Tip number 2. Use visualization or guided imagery to visualize yourself in a relaxing place. This will help you to feel grounded. Visualization or guided imagery involves you imagining yourself being somewhere special. Maybe it's your favourite place, somewhere that makes you feel happy. Maybe you're taking part in a peaceful or calming activity. Something that makes you feel good. Using all of your senses, your sight, your hearing, your touch, your smell. The images in your mind should leave you feeling calm and relaxed. Successful athletes such as Michael Phelps, Johnny Wilkinson, Jessica Ennis-Hill and Andy Murray have all used mental imagery before a competition to help improve their performance. The mind is incredibly powerful and if used correctly can improve how we feel. When I was competing before a competition, I would always visualise myself doing my run, landing all my tricks, executing everything perfectly, the crowd standing up and applauding me, and finally finishing with a gold medal around my neck. And by continuously placing my focus on this, it would give me the confidence and motivation I needed to go out there and perform at my very best. So mental imagery can be used as a tool to help psych us up and help us to feel mentally prepared. Or equally, can be used as a meditation to help us to feel calm and more grounded. Even if we spend just 5 minutes a day meditating, focusing on our breathing, calming our mind, then it's proven to have a huge impact on our overall anxiety levels. There are tons of apps out there like Headspace, which has some fantastic meditation exercises on. Or there are loads of videos on YouTube too, so have a look around and find something that's right for you. I'm going to take you through a short, relaxing guided meditation now. So get yourselves comfy, turn your phones off or put them on silent and make sure nothing is going to distract you for the next few minutes. It might seem a little bit strange to start with, but please have an open mind and give it a go. You might really enjoy it and benefit from it.
Take a deep breath and gently close your eyes. Easily imagine these scenes while you continue to breathe in and out slowly and calmly. See yourself relaxing by a beautiful, calm lake. The breeze softly blows over the lake and you watch thousands of tiny ripples it creates on the surface of the lake. Your surroundings here are so calm and pleasant that it brings a feeling of complete peace. This calm feeling washes over your entire body and mind. You breathe in deeply and allow the peacefulness to fill you. You notice the birds singing in the trees, softly chirping and singing songs of their simple happiness. Take the time now to release any worries, any disturbing thoughts, any sadness you may be feeling. Let those feelings float up, out and away, floating far, far away. Whatever has happened today that has bothered you, it is time to let that go. Know that you are really in control of your mind and body. You can choose to allow these bothersome emotions to leave, and in doing so, you will free up space in your mind and heart for positive things to come. Life is all about creating what you want and choosing good thoughts that make you feel good. When you focus on the positive, you get more positive experiences in your life. Releasing any negative thoughts serves like an umbrella on a rainy day. Sure, the rain is there, but it doesn't have to affect you. In your mind's eye, picture yourself now in a stormy, rainy situation. As you open up your umbrella of positivity, you can see how you are really protected from all that is going on outside. You are safe. You don't have to be part of any rainy difficulties. It truly is your choice how you react to whatever comes your way. Know that you have all the tools you need within. just choose to use them. You can see your life from a happy perspective. Worry, disturbing thoughts or sadness are choices or thoughts you think of. You can simply set them free and let them ripple away across the surface of the lake. You can release all the things that have been stressful to you and make peace with yourself. Make peace now with the amazing person that you truly are. And as you look out over this serene lake, nurture yourself with your loving thoughts. Release any negative images or ideas about yourself. You have a choice in what you believe. Your mind is your greatest asset and your best tool. Now, taking a deep breath, allow good feelings to fill up your heart and mind. Peacefulness and calm are all around you. Open your eyes, and when you're ready, take a big stretch.
Tip number 3, practice yoga with meditation. Using yoga and meditation helps to strengthen the connection between the mind and the body, helping you to feel more calm. Evidence shows that yoga helps with stress levels. And as a teenager, if you practice yoga regularly, did you know that you're more likely to do better in your exams than those that don't? Why is that? When you practice yoga, you focus on your breathing a lot throughout. Not only will this help to reduce any levels of anxiety, but it will also help to improve concentration, thereby helping you to focus for longer in school and get more work done. Not only that, but it also helps to improve strength and flexibility. What is not to love about it? Let's give it a go now. Try and find a little bit of space around you. You don't need a yoga mat, but try and find somewhere where you're not going to get distracted for a few moments. And please try and focus on your breathing throughout. Let's go.
Stand with your feet hip width apart and take a few deep breaths. Inhale as you sweep your arms out to the side and overhead. Gently arch your back and gaze towards the sky. Exhale as you fold forward from the hips. Bend your knees if necessary. Rest your hands beside your feet and bring your nose to your knees. Inhale as you lift your torso halfway, lengthening your spine forward so your back is flat. Your torso should be parallel to the floor. Keep your fingertips on the floor or bring them to your shins. Exhale as you step back into a plank position. With your hands under your shoulders and feet hip distance apart. Bring your knees down and slowly lower your body to the floor. Inhale as you draw your chest forward and straighten your arms. Draw your shoulders back and lift your heart to the sky, coming into an upwards facing dog position. Press through the tops of your feet, lifting your thighs off the floor and fully engaging your leg muscles. Keep your elbows tucked in towards your sides. Exhale as you lift your hips and roll over your toes, placing the soles of your feet on the floor, coming into a downward facing dog position. Your heels do not need to touch the ground. Push down through your hands on the soles of your feet as you lengthen your spine. Lift your belly and sit bones towards the sky and stay here for 5 breaths. On your last exhalation, bend your knees and look between your hands. Inhale as you step your feet between your hands. Lift your torso halfway, lengthening your spine forward so your back is flat. Your torso should be parallel to the floor. Keep your fingertips on the floor or bring them to your shins. Exhale as you fold your torso over your thighs. Bend your knees if necessary. Rest your hands beside your feet and bring your nose to your knees. Inhale as you sweep your arms out to the side and extend up once again, gently arching your back and gazing towards the sky. Exhale as you come back down. Bring your hands into prayer position. Rest your thumbs on your sternum. Take a few deep breaths and repeat this sun salutation 2 or 3 times, and you should soon start to feel energized.
Great, well done everybody. And if you enjoyed that, then there are loads more yoga videos online for you to continue practicing at home. Or maybe you can even set up a new yoga club in school. Now often when we're anxious it can be quite easy to not realise the stress and tension putting through our bodies. Maybe when you're anxious you get headaches or stomach aches. I know for me that I get really tight neck and shoulder muscles that causes me a lot of discomfort. This is when a body scan meditation can be really useful and effective, allowing you to check in with your body. By mentally scanning yourself from head to toe, you're bringing awareness to each and every part of your body, noticing any aches and pains, areas of tension or general discomfort. Staying present with and breathing into these sensations can bring relief to our minds and bodies. So sit yourselves in a comfortable position and let's give this a go.
Sitting comfortably, take a couple of deep breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. As you breathe out, close the eyes and allow the breath to return to its natural rhythm. And just feeling the weight of the body pressing down. Notice how the body feels right now. Is there stillness or restlessness in the body? Or if there's a sense of heaviness or lightness in the body? And starting at the top of the head, just gently scanning down through the body. Nice, even pace as you scan down from head to toe. Noticing the different sensations, what feels comfortable and what feels uncomfortable. Not moving, not trying to change any of the sensations, just observing, watching as you move your mind down the body. Allowing thoughts to come and go. The moment you realise you've been distracted, just letting go of that thinking and bringing your attention back to the body as you continue to scan down towards the toes. And now we're coming to that resting point of the feet on the floor. And in your own time, just gently open your eyes again.
I hope you enjoyed that and each activity that we have done in today's session. Another great mindful activity to try is the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. Working backwards from 5, try and notice all the different things around you in your surroundings. For example, try and list 5 different things you can hear. And then 4 different things you can see. 3 different things you can touch. 2 different things you can smell. And then 1 thing you can taste. And try and notice the things you wouldn't normally notice. For example, think about the whirring of the projector that you wouldn't normally hear in the background. Or maybe the flecks on the carpet on the floor. Or maybe there's some stains on the walls. Try and notice all the different things that you wouldn't normally pay attention to. Try and practice any one of these activities every day and notice the difference it will have on your mental health and well-being. Which one are you going to try? Make a note in your workbook now. Good luck everyone, and remember, we can't control everything that happens to us, but we can change the way we experience it. Take care, bye for now.
Thank you to the Higher Horizons team for hosting this extremely important broadcast surrounding anxiety and how we can combat that. And thank you to Jenna and Chloe for sharing with us those incredible pieces of information around anxiety and mindfulness. If you have any questions for any of our speakers today, please leave them in the live chat, which is next to the video player. Once that has been sent, The teams will answer your questions as soon as possible. If you also missed any of our speakers or would like to look back on any of our content, please look below the video player where there is the on-demand section. They're available to you, your family and friends 24/7, so please look to your leisure. That's all from us today. Join us tomorrow on Tuesday the 26th of January as we will be hearing from York and North Yorkshire as they provide a Year 11 Careers and Skills Fair. They'll be highlighting key skills that transfer across a huge range of different careers and opportunities, showcase key sectors and explore the breadth of possibilities within the world of work, and so much more. But for now, stay safe and stay connected.
Welcome to this live chat facility tutorial. We have had a lot of questions recently about the chat facility and how to use it, so let's get into the video. The chat facility is built with students in mind, with a tool that doesn't need to be parent or teacher led. Each of our pages are linked to the person behind the broadcast, even after it's finished, so you can always ask your questions and get a response about the broadcast. So, let's have a look at how to use the chat facility. To use the chat facility, the first thing to do is to type your comment or question into the chat box. You can now enter your screen name. Your screen name will show when you type your question or comment. Now you will see the chat facility ask for your email address. As I mentioned before, each of our pages are linked to people from the organisation who can reply to your questions. You can enter your email address, which will not be shared with anyone, to get a direct response from the people behind the broadcast. If you do not want a direct response, then click the button at the bottom. People behind the broadcast can still respond to you if you don't provide your email address. This just means you may have to come back to the page to check the response. To type your question, simply click on the chat box. You will then see two symbols appear. The @ symbol will mean your comment or question will be posted publicly for others to see. The email symbol means your comment or question can be sent directly to the person of your choice from the list that will appear. You can now speak to the people behind the broadcast and ask any questions you may have, or check out our partner pages to see the companies we work with who you can speak to right now about their current vacancies. You can also check out our careers page, which connects you to employers. Our live chat service is linked 24/7 to employers from a wide range of sectors, all waiting to hear from you. You can leave a question about how to produce a professional CV or how to prepare for interviews, anything work related, and one of our businesses will respond to you directly. You can also access a wide variety of live interactive broadcasts and video on demand with the live chat support on all pages. Now this bit is for the parents, guardians and teachers. The best bit about the live chat facility is that it is completely moderated, so you don't need to worry if your young person leaves a silly comment, as it will only show on their screen and no one else's. Another great thing about the chat facility is that it is GDPR protected, so no information is shared with anyone else. We will protect all email addresses and will never share personal information of the young people. If you have any questions about the chat facility or the Learn Live channel, please use the email us icon at the top of the page. Thank you, stay safe and stay tuned.